Just two dudes having a conversation. You're my friend and I trust you. Christmas is happening around us. It's snowing outside. This is a non-licensed Christmas song, so we don't get pulled off YouTube. There's snow everywhere.
There is snow everywhere here in northern Ohio.
Northeast Ohio.
It's a funny thing is we're actually like more central Ohio.
Yeah.
Like we're north central. Mm-hmm. Just barely north.
Yeah.
We're just about, what, an hour and a half north of Columbus?
Yeah, but we're also an hour and a half south of Cleveland.
That's true.
Which is what I always told everybody.
Yeah. I would always say, do you know where Mansfield's at? And if they knew where Mansfield was at, like, have you ever heard of Worcester? Yeah. And then I'd be like, I would push my luck. I'd be like, you ever heard of Shreve? No. If they knew a Shreve, then I'd be like, I'm from Big Prairie.
When I was in Pittsburgh, I would have to be like, Cleveland and Columbus. I'm in between those two. Yeah. Because they just don't know anything. I might have been able to get away with Akron, possibly.
Yeah, that's true. But Akron's especially now that I live over here, like, I'm just like, I'm near Akron.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now that we've talked about
where we live.
Let's talk about what we do. That's a podcast.
That's right. This is You're My Friend and I Trust You. Hopefully you're listening on Back Row Radio on a Friday.
Yep.
Black Friday.
I did some preparation. I have some Black Friday horror stories to read.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just two, though.
Are you a Black Friday shopper?
No,
me either. That's
not at all.
It's my worst nightmare.
If you're out shopping right now on Black Friday, first of all, turn the ship around, go back home. Ship, not the other word.
Yes.
In case you misheard me, that was a Moby Dick reference. But turn the ship around, go back home. What are you doing? You're risking your actual life.
For what?
A TV, maybe?
That's what, $50 off?
Yeah. One of the stories I read that I'd compiled like a big email and sent it to myself. But one of the stories I read that I didn't put in the email, but I'd remember because it was so ridiculous. This couple had waited 14 hours. They got there first in line to a store, waited 14 hours in the line, or if you're from Britain, the queue. 14 hours in the queue.
You really did do some research.
I just knew that as a fact that I know. But 14 hours, went in, got a cart full of $2 towels.
What?
And checked out. Nobody else had bought those towels. The dude that was telling the story was a dude that worked there. He was like, we had tons of those those towels left on the shelf and in the back. Nobody was buying them.
Well, the funny thing is, too, is like if you just wait, like even like Black Friday deals, there are some like diamonds in the rough, like that's just amazing. But for the most part, they just hype it up so much that people think that whatever deal they're getting they can only get it on Black Friday.
Right. And I mean, anymore, if you just go online.
Yeah, no kidding.
Same deals.
Yep.
Almost year round.
Or just wait for Cyber Monday.
Right, Cyber Monday now.
Yeah.
I think a big thing about it is that like the first 100 customers, the first 50 or first 200 get something at most stores, like a free, like a even bigger coupon.
Swag.
Yeah.
Stuff we all get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's not for me. I did it once. I think it was just once.
What was your experience like? Did you do the waiting in the line?
No. We more so just kind of like walked around, which is even worse, I think.
When you don't have like
something I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was dating a girl in college and she really wanted to go. And so guess who went?
Because you're a nice guy.
Yeah. We didn't work out.
You lost her in the store and haven't talked to her since.
Kelly, if you're still Black Friday shopping this morning, I've moved on. So should you.
You're the deal that got away. I'm crying.
Oh boy. Oh, it's too early for this.
Yeah, it's way too early. We're slap happy.
I went to bed at 3 a.m.
You went to bed at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm not sleeping much right now.
That's right. You got sleep apnea.
Yeah, which
Freshly diagnosed.
is that a new thing for the podcast? I don't remember.
I think so. I don't think we talked about it last time.
Yep, fresh diagnosed with some obstructive sleep apnea. So that's fun.
You did the in-home sleep test?
Yeah, I didn't go to like a sleep center. I did it online, or not online. I did it at home, and everything is done online. And got strapped into the little machine. I've noticed I've been super tired and don't feel like I can sleep for 9 hours and just get up and feel like I just kind of like barely napped, you know? So,
oh shoot. Sorry. My bad.
So that and some family members have gotten diagnosed with it, and
Emily, I love you too. Sorry.
and
that text.
And we're going on a year and a half of marriage, and I've gained weight. So that's played into it too.
Is there, you know how there's like the freshman 15?
Yeah.
Is there anything with marriage?
I think so. At least for me. I don't know if it's an actual thing, but because like part of it is, well, one, like I noticed that I eat more just like because like the way our lives are, it's a little more structured now that I'm married. So like we have like definite dinners and whatnot, where before like I might only eat once or twice a day before I got married, and that was normal for me.
Yeah.
And so that played into it. So just the availability, and also Allie likes to cook. So,
oh boy.
Yeah. And
she is from the South.
She is from the South. And so I'm not one to pass up any food that's made for me.
Yeah.
And then also there's like that also aspect of like, well, you know, I'm married now. I mean, I want to impress her, but I really don't care about anybody else.
You already have her locked down.
That's right. Which is a good segue probably into, we talked about it on the last episode. We are trying to raise some money.
Yeah.
For Compassion.
Did you see that?
I saw your tweet this morning.
Oh, yeah.
So talking about how out of shape I am, for whatever reason, we decided this would be a good idea.
I'm very out of shape as well.
Is to, if we hit a $500 mark, did we decide on 500?
Yeah, that's what I put.
Okay, $500 on a GoFundMe account, which is you can find on our Twitter.
Yep. We'll probably be constantly retweeting that.
Yeah. That if we hit the $500 mark for Compassion, Donnie and I are going to run a 5K.
We're going to run a 5K.
Which, like, for some of you people might be like, come on, guys, a 5K? No. You don't understand.
I just had a crippling moment of fear just 2 seconds ago when I remembered that I can't run at all right now because I dropped my motorcycle on my foot.
You're
like
still dealing
5
with
months
that?
ago. Yeah, and
My goodness.
it's ligament stuff, man. It's going to be like that for
You
a
and
while.
your ligaments. Like, I feel like it's constantly a ligament with you. Your wrist ligament.
My wrist, I think that was actually a broken bone now that I think about it. But I have sprained the ligaments in both my knees twice, each knee. And then I dropped my motorcycle on my foot back in June.
It was right before camp.
Or July then, like mid-July. And I haven't been able to run or walk up and down stairs normally since. So
if you guys want to see us in a lot of pain,
a ton of pain,
just pure misery, $500.
You don't have to donate the $500
No.
as an individual person.
Donate what you want.
Yeah.
But when we hit the $500 mark, we will run a 5K.
Yes.
And we will document it.
We will.
Do we have donor benchmarks?
I couldn't find that feature on GoFundMe, but I will say if you send us like a screenshot of how much you donated, if you donate $10 or more, you will get a behind the scenes training montage video
Yes.
of us preparing for this 5K. It's either going to be both of us or one of us really committing and trying, or it's going to be just both of us just sitting on the couch watching videos of people running, getting hyped up before the day.
It's all a mental game anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. You'll also get, along with that, it'll be in the same video probably, us running the 5K. We're going to try to get GoPros and carry them with us, and maybe have one of our significant others hold a camera on the sidelines and go to the finish line and film us crossing arm in arm, most likely vomit down the front of our shirts. Hopefully
Bloody
not
nipples.
diarrhea. Bloody nipples, if you've seen The Office. They're chafing.
It's happening.
So as of 9 hours ago, it looks like nobody's donated yet.
Yes. Off to a good start. I'll be honest.
I did make it at like 1 a.m, so.
I'll be honest. There's a very large part of me. I love Compassion and what they do. Mm-hmm. There's a very large part of me that wants this to fail so I don't have to run the 5K.
I just want to see if we have the influence to raise
true.
$500. It's not a lot of money.
It's not.
Granted, we don't have a lot of listeners, but we are on back row.
Yeah.
So I'm really counting on
Back row could probably
people.
make it happen.
Yeah. But you can find the GoFundMe. If you just go to GoFundMe and type in, "You're my friend and I trust you 5K for compassion," you'll find it.
It's so long.
I'm sorry, I've never made a GoFundMe before. I didn't know how short or long to make. I wanted it to be descriptive and to the point. I'm trying my best. I feel a little attacked.
Oh.
Once again, if you go to GoFundMe.com, the "You're my friend and I trust you 5K for compassion" is what our campaign is. We're just looking for $500. 100% of those proceeds go to Compassion International.
Yes.
If you don't know what Compassion is, it's in the description here. They are a Christian humanitarian aid child sponsorship organization dedicated to the long-term development of children living in poverty around the world.
So they're doing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. And they also, they don't only like exclusively work with orphans. They have like a ton of different like side, or I guess, I don't know if side is the right word, but they have a ton of different other missions that they do as well.
Yeah.
They do, one of the things that I think is really cool, they do, they get food to remote villages, like food and water, like rice or whatever.
Yeah.
And clean water. And they also do well digging, which I think is really sick. That's one of my favorite types of charities as well, digging.
Me too.
Because when you have to walk over a mile there and back just for like 5 gallons of water.
Right.
That's crazy. Where
Especially water that may not even be clean.
most of the time it's not. Yeah. But we can go from where we're sitting right now, 5 feet, and run that water all day long if we wanted to. And it would be clean and not hurt us. So, but we believe in Compassion. We like what they're doing. And we decided that we have a little bit of a voice, at least I would say 10 people a week hear us.
This may also just like totally crush our not confidence, but
yeah, I hurt our feelings a lot. We'll see.
You can also find, like I said, we'll probably pin the tweet on our Twitter profile. And that's My Friend Podcast on Twitter.
Yes. Yep.
To find that link to donate.
Donate to us. Well, on top of that, we also got our very first email ever.
That's right. I forgot about this.
Yeah, I gotta find it here. I think I'm in ours. No, I'm not. Oops. Sorry. Okay. I'm a little bummed because it's from my sister. But at the same time, I'm eternally grateful, and she's the best.
She's pretty okay.
Although, did you read the whole thing?
I did.
It's a book. It's an actual book.
She gave us a nice story about Baby Donnie.
Should we read it on the podcast?
We can. You want me to read it and you can give me your commentary?
Oh, sure, yeah. I didn't read this part of the story. I only read the beginning and the tail end of the email because it's so long. So, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this is from Donnie's sister, Megan.
Yep. Thanks, Megan, for the email.
Yeah.
If you want to email us and have it read on the podcast, you can find us at itrustyoupodcast@gmail.com.
This is where we're at. We're offering to read stories that people email us because no one's emailing us. All right. So this is
Take my keys off.
This is a story from Megan about baby Donnie.
Does she say how old I was?
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right.
Okay, this is her swimming story. Many years ago, we were vacationing in Florida at our grandparents' house. There was an in-ground pool at their house, which is where we spent the majority of our time. On this particular vacation, baby Donnie was not yet a very strong swimmer.
Did she say that they're in Florida? My grandparents are in Florida?
Yes.
Okay, continue.
So baby Donnie is not a strong swimmer yet. He couldn't have been more than 6, which would have made me about 9. Mm-hmm. I, on the other hand, had no problem swimming. This is from the point of view from Megan.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but continue.
You take exception to her.
I think she was still having to have like water wings or like a flotation device of some kind.
One day, we were all getting ready to jump in the pool. Baby Donnie did not yet have...
Actually, not true. We were not. We had just gotten there. If I remember right, we had just gotten to their house and we were just walking around and we were walking like around the perimeter of the pool. Because I was clothed and we were all clothed in like normal street clothes.
Because she said baby Donnie did not yet have on his child-sized flotation device.
Yes.
But was walking
my civilian clothes.
Dangerously close to the edge of the pool.
That's true.
Being the wobbly little lad that he was.
At 6 though?
He of course lost his footing and fell in the water. I happened to be standing nearby, and upon seeing little baby Donnie fall into the pool, my heroic superhero big sister instincts kicked in. Flex emoji.
She used at least 50 emojis in this email.
I was a tad dramatic as a child. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, very much so.
I was a tad dramatic as a child.
And now.
So, of course, I screamed, "Oh no, Donnie!" Crying emoji at the top of my lungs and proceeded to jump in after him. I scooped him up, and then about 2 seconds later, our dad scooped both of us up and out of the water. Baby Donnie cried, crying emoji.
Not true.
And brave big sister Megan comforted him. Did she comfort you a lot?
Probably not.
Needless to say, baby Donnie probably wouldn't be here today if it weren't for my heroic act. Trophy emoji, medallion emoji. Or maybe he would still be here since Dad was following me closely, ready to rescue both of us. Dad, you're the real hero. Crying emoji, rock fingers emoji, the end, peace emoji.
Wow. Okay. Here's how I remember that going down. Because that's actually one of my first vivid memories.
At 6 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember a lot of my childhood. I think I've said before, yesterday back is a little fuzzy for me.
Right.
But that's one of the things that I do remember, and I very well could be remembering it wrong. But what I remember is I fell down, back towards the water.
Okay.
So it's that thing where you hit the water.
So what were you doing to fall?
I don't know. I think I just tripped.
Okay.
Or
You were pretty wobbly, weren't you?
I don't know. I guess I still am. I walk like a penguin now, I'm told. What is that called where you just point your feet outward?
It's not pigeon-toed, right?
It might be pigeon-toed.
Where's that?
Oh, that's in, I think. I'm penguin-toed. But
that would make sense.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. But I remember falling backwards into the pool, and right as I hit the water, my sister grabbed my hand. But I think my dad had grabbed my sister. So it was like a chain of kids.
Okay.
It was like dad, kid, with one kid in the water. And then he just pulled out the chain of kids.
So did Megan actually make it into the water? Or was she just kind of like hanging?
I think she was just hanging.
Okay.
But I know for a fact that she did not jump in to save me. Did
she embellish things as a child?
Oh, yeah. She's going to kill me when she hears this. Oh, no. But that's how I remember it happening. I could be wrong because even that seems like a little like circumstantial for everybody's reflexes just to be on point in that moment like that.
Family connection, man.
Yeah. But that's how I remember it happening.
That's fair.
But
so, Megan, you're a liar.
Yes. There's more to that email. It's actually a what do you do scenario. Do you want to save that for the next podcast since we have some Black Friday stuff to attend to?
Yeah, let's do that.
Or if we just burn through this Black Friday stuff too quick, we'll do this what do you do scenario. But I got to go back to my other email. I should really have this more figured out. Maybe some print-offs.
I have a printer. I splurged and bought a printer.
Oh, nice. I might actually need that for some boring adult stuff, but we'll talk about that later.
Use my printer.
I won't even ask. I'll just, hey, I'm going to use your printer.
It's wireless, so I wouldn't even know.
I printed some stuff off. Can you bring it to me?
Right.
Okay. So our first Black Friday scenario, this one is just hilarious, but also if you've ever worked retail around this time of year, my heart goes out to you. I have worked retail.
Did you have to work Black Friday at the Christian bookstore?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oof, it was bad. You'd honestly, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on Back Row. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but that bookstore, I worked at Family Christian Bookstore. They closed down, but I think they're still doing stuff online.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully they don't sue me. Hopefully they're not a sponsor of Back Row. But one of the worst jobs I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because I do not like people or dealing with people, especially people that I feel are being ridiculous, which is everybody that comes into this is not going to end well for you. You're leaning back in your chair.
I got the wall to protect me.
Okay. Well, when you fall, I'm going to laugh really hard. But for me, working in retail, when I don't like people and I don't like dealing with upset people or annoying people, and I'm super non-confrontational, was the worst. But working in a Christian bookstore and getting personally cussed at because I wouldn't give somebody a 20% off coupon, and also just the hypocrisy and the crazy theologies that I heard.
Yeah.
That basically were just hate.
Yeah.
Really, I think hurt my faith for a while.
Yeah.
And it was like a long recovery process.
Yeah.
And you were kind of privy to some of that because I was telling you about it like years ago when I moved back. But like it really turned me off and burnt me out of the church for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I've only like recently within the past year like come back around to that.
Yeah.
But if you've worked in retail during Black Friday, you know it's horrible. This first story is just a little quick one that shows the insane stupidity of people, but also has a little humor thrown in there. So,
perfect.
This is from I don't know who, but it's from somebody. I worked for 6 years at a Johnny Rockets at a mall as a server and management. We didn't open early like the rest of the stores because we are a restaurant and we don't serve breakfast. We had people shake our gates screaming that they wanted food. This is worded horribly. Sorry. We had people shaking our gates screaming that they wanted food. It was just me and an opener getting the chairs set out.
Oh boy.
I pointed them towards the food court and told them we don't serve breakfast. A lady spit at me and told me, I know you have bacon. We do, in a fridge waiting to be cooked and put on a burger.
I know you have bacon.
But that's the insaneness of people.
Oh, yeah.
Just shaking, screaming, and then getting spit at by somebody.
And like the entitlement.
Right.
Like, why? No, like.
Yeah. I had a lady at Family Christian. She called the bookstore, and she was one of those repeat customers that always came in 5 minutes to close and then spent half an hour shopping. She would come in 5 minutes to close saying, I know you're about to close. I know exactly what I want. Then spend half an hour just milling around and then another 20 minutes adding coupons onto her purchase, which was a pain in the butt to do when you had 20 coupons.
Yeah.
And the system only could accept 10 at a time. So you had to ring up some of the items, but you wanted the coupon off all of the items. Oh, I'm getting frustrated, getting flashbacks thinking about it. But she called one time saying, what time do you guys close? And I was like, you know that we close at 9. Because I was a key holder, I was closing. I was like, I'm locking the door at 9. And that's it. She's like, well, I'm on my way. I'm like, I'm locking the door at 9. We close at 9. She gets there at 10 past 9 and starts shaking the doors, screaming to be let in.
You're kidding me.
She's like, I thought you were a Christian bookstore. I thought you were a Christian store. I'm like, I told you we close at 9. It is 9:10.
Just because a business is Christian doesn't mean that, like, there's rules.
Right.
Christians still follow rules.
I'm not going to just get walked over because we're a Christian bookstore. Oh, come on in. It's 11 p.m. and you're still shopping? Go for it.
I don't have a life.
Right. I still get very agitated thinking about that. And actually, dude, reading through these horror stories of Black Friday, like I was literally getting anxiety as I was doing this, and I had to stop. I had to shut it off because like my heart rate was starting to quicken, and like I was getting like short of breath. And it was bad.
Man,
this last one is a little bit long, and it's not that long, but it is very sad.
Sad?
You will find out in just 1 second. The throng of Walmart shoppers had been building all night, filling sidewalks and stretching across a vast parking lot at the Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream, New York at 3:30 a.m. The Nassau County Police had to be called in for crowd control, and an officer with a bullhorn pleaded for order. Tension grew as the 5 a.m. opening neared. Someone taped up a crude poster, "Blitz line starts here." By 4:45, with no police in sight, the crowd of more than 2,000 had become a rabble and could be held back no longer. Fists bang and shoulders pressed on the sliding glass double doors, which bowed in with the weight of the assault. 6 to 10 workers inside tried to push back, but it was helpless. Suddenly, witnesses and the police said the doors shattered and the shrieking mob surged in a blind rush for holiday bargains. One worker, Mr. Demore, 34, was thrown back into the black linoleum tiles and trampled in the stampede that steamed over and around him. Others who had stood alongside Mr. Demore trying to hold the doors were also hurled back and run over, witnesses said. Some workers who saw what was happening fought their way through the surge to get to Mr. Demore, but he had been fatally injured, the police said. Emergency workers tried to revive Mr. Demore, a temporary worker hired for the holiday season, at the scene, but he was pronounced dead an hour later at Franklin Hospital Medical Center in Valley Stream.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
Like, yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
And dumb. And I wish people would just stop. Like, honestly, like I have so much more as a potential customer. If I know a store is not opening, one, early, but two, just like their normal hours, or if they're closed, I am way more likely to wait and come to your store later. Just I mean, kind of again, it's in that vein of just how people have built this up so much.
Yeah.
And nothing that you can buy is worth someone else's life.
Yeah.
And not like, even in the smaller sense, not necessarily if someone dies, but it's not worth getting in a fight over or just being disrespectful. Like, yeah, I can't watch like news clips of Black Friday because I know that somebody's going to get in a fight or someone's going to steal something from a kid. It's like I'd like to think people are better than that.
Yeah. One of the stories was a Walmart worker, a DVD had fallen to the floor, so he was picking it up to put it back on the shelf. And as he was picking it up, somebody punched him in the head to take the DVD because they thought he was a customer.
Gosh.
Yeah.
A DVD that costs what?
$15.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Sale for $5.
When did all this Black Friday stuff start happening?
I don't know. That's a good question.
To this extreme.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like dangerous to go out on Black Friday to certain stores.
Yeah.
At certain times.
I'm not sure. I know some stores are implementing like more of a ticket system that emphasizes like people getting there early, which like I think is dumb that people get there early, but at least it's not just like a mad dash once you get in. Like basically it's kind of like you get there, you get a ticket, and then they only let in the ticketed people at that point. And so like it's a little bit more order, and it's just kind of like a first come first serve and whatever. And so, but that's when you get people start camping out on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Which, why? Because now you're missing Thanksgiving with your family for stupid crap for Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand. Also, just if you work in retail around Black Friday, especially places like Walmart, places that are open all the time, most likely you've had to work Walmart or work Thursday, Thanksgiving. Right. And now you're on Black Friday as well. And if it's Black Friday and you open early at like 4 or 3 in the morning, you got to be there super, super early and most likely work like a 12 or 14 hour shift.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I would prefer just like stores just be closed on Thanksgiving. Yeah. Closed on like, I'm lucky enough where I work, our office is closed on Black Friday too. So, like I feel so bad when I forget something for Thanksgiving meal and like I have to stop at like Walmart or something and like people are working. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm the problem. I'm the demand that you're here and I feel awful. Yeah. I guess I should just learn to go without whatever I think I need. Yeah. Would your family be that upset if you didn't bring a pie? Well, I would be if I expected you to bring a pie. Yeah, pie. Allie makes peanut butter pie. Ooh. Anna Mae's peanut butter pie. I bet. She was a lady at one of our churches. She passed away, but she had any potlucks or whatever that we had at the church. There was like, it was like a Black Friday situation for her peanut butter pie. That's true. That's true. Shoot, what was her name again? Anna Mae. Anna Mae, that's right. Yeah. And before she passed away, I had asked her if she would give the recipe to my wife, and she did. Oh, nice. Yeah, and so... Nice. Were you even married at the time? No, I guess, because I remember we sent her a wedding invite. She was in hospice, and I knew she wasn't going to be able to be there, but she took time to write a handwritten letter back to us, and... You put down on the wedding invite, if you can't make it to the wedding, your recipe for peanut butter pie will do. Right. But she was one of the kindest, for sure, sweetest, both her and her husband and their whole family. Her husband passed away before her. They have sold my parents 2 houses in my lifetime. The first one when we were younger, like I said, the whole family is just incredible, the stuff that they've gone through. They lost 2 sons, one in a farming accident. I think 2. They might have lost more, but I know for at least 2. The one in a farming accident, he flipped one of the tractors, and anyway, that just the way that they weren't bitter towards life when they had every reason to be.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone deserved to just be mad at life, mad at God, it was them. And they were anything but. And like, just the generosity of when we moved back, because we had moved away from the area, and we ended up moving back in 2009, right in the midst of the housing crisis and the recession. And we owned a house in our old town, and it was hard to sell because it was a housing recession or whatever. And Anna Mae's husband, and both Anna Mae and her husband, basically offered my parents, like, hey, if you find a house that you guys really like, we're looking to invest in something.
Wow.
We'll buy it and you can rent it from us.
Wow.
And that's how my parents ended up getting their house now. And they since, before she passed away, they arranged to buy it from them. But like that, I remember sitting in the room, and that was like the first time in my life where like I really felt the impact of someone being that generous, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, and the relief that I could just tell in my dad, especially, because like at the time, I don't know if you would remember, me and my dad were living in an RV at the church parking lot, in the church parking lot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was like that summer into fall when we didn't, like, most of my family was still living in Indiana. He already started here. And so somebody in the church had an RV, and they're like, we'll park it here so you can, at least have somewhere to stay. That's yours and your space only. And
your dad came back to be the preacher of our church, if
yes,
you're listening and don't know. So how long did you live in that RV?
I mean, I was back and forth so much. I know he moved up in June of that year and spent the summer, and I don't think he got into the house until like probably August, September.
Wow.
So a couple months, I think.
Man.
But so peanut butter pie is how I got there.
Well, I'm really glad that you brought up Anna Mae.
Yeah.
Because like you said, her and her husband, literally some of the kindest people that I've ever known in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate to know some pretty nice people, but far and above, they're it.
Yeah.
They set the bar, and nobody's quite reached it yet. But I get super depressed and super disappointed and lose faith in humanity when I see Black Friday stuff and people acting the way that they act, and people doing what they do around this time of the year, which should be a time of joy and sharing pie recipes.
Thanksgiving,
yeah. But some people's focus is just so on trivial and unimportant things. But you have people like Anna Mae and her husband who their focus is on something different, and that shows.
Yeah.
And it makes you want to be around them. It makes you want to strive to be like that. So people like that give me hope for humanity.
Right.
Where there is evil, there is always good. I think is maybe something Stan Lee said. R.I.P. Stan Lee. Excelsior. Just died.
And as like in that same thought is, people go crazy and are so, I'm not saying everyone who goes Black Friday shopping is awful. It's not, but the stereotype. It's all about materialistic things that you're going to forget. And the things that you remember are people's character, and like the things that, just using Larry and Anna Mae as examples, is I don't she babysat us all growing up, and I don't remember, if she bought me a shirt, I don't remember any of that stuff. But the things I do remember is conversations that she had with me, letters that she wrote to me, especially when I started in ministry. She would write just like little encouragement letters and mail them to the church.
Yeah.
And the way that I observed as a kid the way that they interacted with my parents. And those are the things that I remember, not materialistic stuff, that they may have bought me or whatever. It's just all the lessons that, whether they knew that they were teaching me or not, just the way that they lived, they taught me.
Yeah.
So people be good.
Yeah. Maybe this upcoming holiday season, because we're in it now.
Yeah.
It starts Black Friday and goes till Christmas. So we're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
In the trenches. But maybe, and this might sound cliche, but I want to challenge everybody just to take some time, maybe actually write somebody a letter.
Yeah.
Not a text. A phone call would also be nice, but when's the last time that you got like a half page or a page letter from somebody?
Right.
And how much that meant to you.
Yeah.
Somebody you haven't reached out to in a while, somebody you've been thinking, man, I haven't talked to this person in a while. I wonder how they're doing. Send them a letter. That might be the best thing that they get this year.
Or take whatever money you were going to use to buy, I don't know, a t-shirt for somebody, and instead take them out to coffee or, give them that experience as opposed to just a thing.
Give them a memory instead of an object.
Right.
And also, something you can do is donate to our GoFundMe.
That's right.
To raise some money for charity. We're really genuinely not doing this to draw attention to ourselves or to inflate our own egos. We just feel like we have a little bit of a platform being on Back Row. And the listeners that we get not on Back Row, that we want to try to do something with the ears that we're reaching.
And honestly, if you don't want to give to us, that's cool.
Yeah.
But do something in your world that one thing that's really easy to do and probably makes more of an impact than you know is go to your local school, like elementary school, and whatever amount you have extra, or you decide not to get a gift, so I'm going to give this. You can go to elementary school and just ask, hey, or tell them I have X amount of money and I want to pay off however many kids' lunches I can with it. Yeah. Because that's one thing that, I know like some kids qualify for free or reduced lunch or whatever, but there's still a good majority that, because our family was this way where on paper your parents make too much to get help, but because the life situation, they have a lot of kids, like they can't keep up with that, and that's another debt, that they're trying, and especially, as a kid, I'm sure this has probably changed, but I remember in elementary school, if your account went negative X amount, instead of getting whatever lunch, like, say they were having pizza and corn and stuff, you got like peanut butter and jelly. And so like everyone kind of knew. Yeah. And as a kid, you have no control over that. Yeah. And so that's one easy thing that you can do is just go or, ask them, what do you need? A lot of elementary schools need sweatpants for kids who, accidents happen at that age. And so they give them sweatpants and, whatever. So if it's not to us, look around you and find a need in your area and just give this year. Yeah. There's tons of charities online. Is there, whatever you're passionate about, maybe you have a heart for something, maybe you have a heart for homeless people, billions of homeless charities online. Maybe not billions, but there's a ton. Yeah. Whatever you're passionate about, there's most likely a charity for that. We just happen to be passionate about compassion and making ourselves miserable. Yeah. We want to try to at least get into a little bit of shape here. It's a little self-serving, but yeah. But no, it's going to be cool, and we encourage you to check us out. Definitely. I'm excited for it. Sorry, I got to pull up this email again so that I can tell where the link to the GoFundMe.
I try to do everything so it's not confusing, but apparently I just suck. So you can find the link to our GoFundMe on our Twitter, which is @myfriendpodcast at Twitter. And we'll probably pin that to our Twitter, and we'll be retweeting it constantly.
Yep.
Both of us will probably personally retweet it. I know I did. I'm @Don Moretti at Twitter.
The Jordan Benter.
The Jordan Benter.
With a Y.
With a Y. We'll do this until it's done. I don't think I set a time limit on it.
So whenever.
So I want to try to get it done by Christmas. So that way we can start training and then find a 5K in the spring.
Yeah.
So we'll set a goal for Christmas. 500 by Christmas. But if you want to go to GoFundMe.com, our campaign is called You're My Friend and I Trust You 5K for Compassion. It's straightforward and to the point.
It is. It is.
I don't know what else to call it. What do you want me to call it? 5K for Compassion? Then they wouldn't know it was us.
That's true.
I'm trying my best.
And I appreciate it. I do.
You can also hear us on Back Row Radio on the app or on iTunes. Oh, wait, no, Back Row is not on iTunes. We're on iTunes. Sorry, we have stuff written down on the table that lets us know what all our stuff is. But you can listen to us on Back Row Radio, either online or on the Back Row Radio app.
On Fridays, starting around 7.
Mm-hmm. And then airing again at 10.
Eastern time.
Eastern time, yeah. Figure that out for yourself.
Yes.
Because we refuse to do it.
You can email us like Megan did.
Yeah.
Which
there will be more of that email to come because it's a book.
That's right.
It's a book and a half.
itrustyoupodcast@gmail.com.
itrustyoupodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions about the charity stuff or the 5K or anything, you can hit us up there.
If you have ideas on how to make it better,
yeah, definitely.
let us know.
Yeah.
We're definitely open to that too.
I think I can edit the name of it if anybody has a better name. But we hope you had a good Black Friday. We hope you stayed safe.
Yes.
We hope you did not trample or get trampled. Anyone. But we don't have any merch, so we can't have any Black Friday sort of sales. But this is a free podcast, so in a way,
we're giving you the deal of a lifetime.
Yeah, because we dole out some pretty great advice on this podcast.
Yeah, especially this episode. I feel like we really hit it.
Yeah, I think we did a good job. You
advice.
want a high five for this episode? Nice. I think we did a good job.
Yeah.
Pat on the back for ourselves. We're so vain.
Yeah. No, we appreciate you guys listening. Hit us up. I'm killing time until this outro kicks in.
Yeah, we're almost on our outro.
Because we almost timed this perfectly with the last episode.
Nice.
And
we have our outro in our recording software.
Yeah.
And it'll just play automatically. So we're just waiting on that.
It kind of lets us know.
How was your Thanksgivings, guys? Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Did you eat a lot of turkey?
Did you get in a fight with your in-laws?
Ooh. Hope not.
Yeah. I'm super hungry now.
Bye.
Just two dudes having a conversation. You're my friend and I trust you.